Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game. It's match preview West Ham United against Brighton and Hove Albion. Gonzo, would you kindly kick us off with your thoughts on the Seagulls, please?
A miracle club, I think. Absolutely amazing. I'm jealous, but not in a nasty. I'm jealous, but pleased for them. I think the story is good. I think it gives everybody hope, and I seem to have be saying this for a long time now, going back to where they were with their old stadium that didn't have a roof, which was half a hockey stadium. It was never really a football stadium at all, but they basically played in a hockey stadium for years and years and years. Got a wonderful ground now. If you've not ever had the chance to visit, I know obviously we're not playing it now, but if you've got great, the Amex Stadium, absolutely amazing. Local pies, local ales, lots of space around. A bit of a nightmare getting from Brighton to there on the train, but it's really good for parking and around it. And they built the club up, everything, not just brick by brick in terms of that, but what you see in terms of that stadium actually is symbolic of how they have built up the football infrastructure at a club, which they've done brick by brick as well. To such a point where it doesn't actually matter what happens now, if they change their manager. They seem to be able to change their manager and each one gets better, which is weird. Potter, De Zerbi was better than Potter. Hürzeler maybe is even better than De Zerbi. We'll see, but he certainly doesn't appear to be any worse, does he, at the moment? So that's pretty miraculous. And the same with the players. They get rid of these players and then new players come in, and maybe the Basuma effect, if you want, where you think, oh, well, that's going to be hard. And then Caicedo, there you go, we'll pop him in the team. I know he was already there anyway. And actually, he's even better than him. And that plays out almost throughout the squad with anything and everything that they do. And I thought it would be impossible for a club to have the midfield of McAllister, Caicedo, the midfield obliterated, and for them to carry on and thrive and excel. I think a miraculous football club, and there's just loads and loads to be admired about them, really.
Yeah, and they've gone and sort of tried to rebuild infrastructure a little bit as well recently, which is bold. I've seen the headline. They've sacked 1/3 of their scouts or something. I thought, wow, that's huge. And I read the article, 3 staff members. And I thought, well, both is true, but it fell.
Yes, at 9, yes, yeah. Okay, brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant. The headline's good. They did right. They clickbaited that right. That's good.
Yeah, I would have clicked on it anyway. If it just said Brighton's scouting department revamp, that's enough for me because of my opinion regarding how Brighton go about their transfer business. But yeah, 1/3 or whatever. So I was like,
could have gone with Brighton sack 3 part-time staff. No one's no one's clicking on it.
They're a full-time staff, to be accurate. That bit was in there as well. I think there are others that have left that were in charge of like the academy recruitments and stuff like that too. But they've revamped it a little bit because they're aware that other clubs are looking at what they're doing and how they're doing things, and they want to stay ahead of the game, and they're going even more data-driven than what they have been in the past. And I think I applaud it. I'm a little bit wary of it because I think you can go too far in one direction. I think there needs to still be that element of due diligence into how they are as a character and as a person, how they're going to fit into the team. And data can't really tell you that. Data can't tell you if they're likely to succeed in England or anything like that. So I do think bold move, perhaps, without knowing too much about it, but it certainly caught the eye. And it's intrigued me because if Brighton get even better at their scouting process and their recruitment process, then it just goes to show that they were arguably the best at it in the Premier League, and have gone, nah, that's not good enough. We want to somehow be even better than that. And I like it. It's one thing coming up with the model, but being able to then stay ahead of your rivals is more difficult, I think. I mean, when Leicester City had their spell with like some Mahrez and that coming, other clubs just well, we'll just have your scouts, thank you. The guy that will have him, thank you very much. And that's happened to Brighton. Newcastle, Man United, and all that have had come along. Ashford, off you go, kind of thing. Chelsea came along and stole half of what Potter had going for him there. So they've been plundered quite a lot. But like you said, they just keep on getting better. And it does just go to prove, I think, it's essentially down to Tony Bloom, really, that he's the one, and you can't get him. He is Brighton. You can't. So the guy responsible, the real, deal at Brighton is untouchable. You can take anyone else, but the machine will keep on going, and hopefully the success will keep on going as well. What have you made of them so far this season, though, Gonzo? Because I'll be honest with you, I've been a little disappointed. I think they're not my biggest disappointment. It's Man City. It's hard not to be Man City. But I was expecting them to be challenging for European places this season, and they still might do.
Yeah.
But when I watched them, I don't know. I just feel like you said Hürzeler looks like an improvement on De Zerbi. He may be. I'm not convinced yet. When he first arrived, Brighton looked good, but recently I thought he's been outdone tactically in quite a few games as well. I think they're quite top heavy. They've got a lot of attackers on the pitch and big spaces, and then a slow defense, and that's a bit of a bad combination sometimes.
We understand about this.
Yeah, we can relate to it. But I've actually been a little bit disappointed by Brighton so far.
Yeah, look, I actually just when I was basically walking a dog before doing this video, and I was thinking, oh, okay, Gio's going to ask me this, and he's going to ask me this, and I'm thinking about it in my mind. I'm playing back the Palace game in my mind, which was a lot of individual errors in that one. But I actually thought, hold on, I've not really seen much of Brighton at all. I started to think I might have seen less of, I think more Southampton than Brighton. Started to look through it. I think I might see less of them than any other team. And that's nothing to do. Well, clearly, I admire what they're doing there. So, in all honesty, I couldn't really say. I just think, in terms of expectation, any time Brighton spent big. Let's be aware of that. Brighton spent more money than West Ham in the summer transfer window, but they have sold a lot of money. I think their net spend is something like 6 million or something like that over the past 3 years. So they did have a spend up though, but it's only to replace what they'd already lost in many respects. So I still think, with that in mind, bearing in mind they're only spending 6 million quid. If they're in the top half of the Premier League, that's a major success. I still think, I don't know, to get. I know you were saying Europe, you weren't saying top 4, but even top 6 is so hard. It's so hard. But then you've got teams that are doing badly, like teams that probably would expect to be up there, like Tottenham and like Manchester United, for example. So, maybe Brighton wouldn't be as high up if those teams are doing better, but it's sort of if buts and maybes. I think they're doing okay. I certainly haven't watched them and think I'm disappointed, but I think I've only watched them play twice.
Well, we get a third helping at the weekend as well. Come on then, in May, where do you expect them to be? With your little evidence.
8th.
Yeah, I'll go 10th, I think, which is, like I said, disappointing for me. And I know saying Brighton should be competing for European football sounds wild, and it does sound a little bit like, really, but that's how far they've come over the last few years, and the squad they've assembled, just some fantastic individual players in there. They've got a stronger squad than we have. I do believe that they've got better depth. If you were to do a combined starting 11, then perhaps wouldn't be too much in it. But you were to then go and do the bench, I think you'd find Brighton is filling most of that part up.
Yeah, for sure.
They've invested really well. There's a lot of talent there.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's quite clicking for them just yet. However, I know he's new into the role and he's still young.
Yes,
he's not like an experienced manager.
Yeah,
younger than us, man alive.
Well, yeah, well, younger than you. I think that's your clickbait title. I think we're going back with the 3 part-time staff when you're talking. Most people are younger than me, but yes, younger than you. Yeah,
yeah. The first manager that I recall to be younger than me, not good. It's only going to keep on going that direction.
It really is. It really is.
Persian Mayo Gonzo.
I really like the Turkish fullback, who I would have liked to have got, Kachigugu. This is going to sound absolutely terrible, because it sounds like I'm not pretending to have watched them lots. The 2 occasions I've watched them, they got their number 26. I think his name begins with A. Midfielder. He's a
Ayari.
maybe it's something like that. Well, he's a good footballer. He's a good footballer. Never seen him, never heard of him before. Seen him both times I've seen him play. He really caught my eye. I think the Pedro, whatever his name is, looks skillful. Looks to play with his head up, which I really like. I liked Matoma from previously as well, and I think it was a shame that Matt O'Reilly got. Again, somebody else wanted to sign, so I think it's a shame that he got injured as well as he did. But I think he might even be back for this game actually. So. Yeah, they got some good players.
I think I'll start with their best player this season. As for me, I think it's been considerably the best player this season. That's Baliba in midfield. It's another central midfielder they produced, but he looks absolutely outstanding. He's got everything as a central midfielder. Defensively, can contribute in the middle of the park, going forward as well. He's just. I watch him and I think, how can Brighton do this? How can, like you said, how can you go McAllister, Casado, now him? I'm like, someone's cheating this.
yeah.
He
Like
wasn't
you when
cheap.
he played FIFA before.
Leave it. He wasn't cheap. He was still expensive, but they had to identify him and go and get him. And that article I was reading mentioned about how had Brighton waited another 6 months to go sign him, like some Man City, and that would have been hovering around and it would have cost double. And I thought, but that is what good scouting's about, though, buying him before he becomes that level and that well known throughout the world of football. I think Van Heck's a very good centre back for them. I think Lewis Dunk's not as good as he used to be, which is okay. It's going to happen, but I think Van Heck's been superb back there. I agree with Pedro. I think outstanding talent, and because Gonzo never mentioned him, I still can't believe how good Danny Welbeck is these days. You keep waiting for him to
injured
stop.
Apparently,
he is, but had a really good start to the season. Anyway, there you go. That's it for Brighton, littered with top players, but will it be enough to grab 3 points at London Stadium? We're going to discuss that in a moment after discussing what we want Lopetegui to do on Saturday. Before we do that, has your little one received a letter from Father Christmas? Because if not, don't worry, we can sort that for you. There's a link in the description below for the Santa Company. And if you go in there, it will ask you a few questions about your child, and you just pop it in, fill it in, and Santa will generate a letter and send it out to your kid. Not only will Santa do that, if your kid is on a nice list, they will get a certificate confirming that, and just for them to keep so that they know they're on the nice list and they can perhaps expect Father Christmas to rock up overnight on Christmas Eve. We're not far away from Christmas Day, so you get your skates on if you haven't already done so. Now, links in the description below, but because Santa's going to be treating your little one, we're going to be treating you by giving you a little bit of a discount as well for the service provided by Santa. Santa's too busy to do everything, so he has elves doing this for him, and we're giving you a little discount. Use the code HammersChat, you'll get 30% off. Letter will arrive in a nice red envelope for your little one, and the letter's really personalised as well. It's not one of these template ones where you put in the name Gonzo and it just changes the name Gonzo, and everyone gets the same one, just a different name. It takes everything you tell it into consideration. It churns it out, and you can read it and approve it. And if you don't like it, you can say, I'm not happy with that one, Mr. Santa Claus. Give me a different one. It will give you a different version until you're happy, and then go, yes, I'll have that one as well. And you can always upgrade as well. There's deluxe options on there. So if you want to get your little one some snow or a little teddy from Santa Claus, and do check out all the options. The code is the same, HammersChat, all one word, and you will save 30% off. But if you're a HammersChat patron, do log in because you get 50% off. Gonzo.
Can I just explain the significance of that? There's a lot of YouTube channels that boast about a lot of stuff, but Father Christmas watches Hammers Chat. I mean, that's pretty big stuff. That's why we're able to give you a discount. Father Christmas giving us a discount code to give to you. I don't care what I don't care what anyone else says. That trumps absolutely everything.
Yeah. What brand deals you got? Manscaped, Surfshark,
and Father
Santa
Christmas.
Claus.
Yeah, there you go. What about that?
I mean, trying to use it to convince further brand deals is going to be difficult. I promise you.
Everyone's going to feel inadequate. The Easter Bunny will be coming on saying, oh, I don't think I'm good enough for Hammers Chat. He watches all the time. Loves it.
Right. Sorry, team news. Team news for West Ham. I am. Team news for West Ham. No Carlos Soler this weekend. He picked up his 5th caution of the season against Bournemouth on Monday night, so he is suspended. What are you laughing at?
It's just our discipline is horrendous.
It's
horrendous.
It's pretty bad. Todibo, we don't know because discipline is horrendous. Füllkrug remains back for now. Apart from that, I think we've pretty much covered everyone. Would you agree?
I think we have. It's like a comedy. Honestly, West Ham's like a comedy at the moment. Lopetegui is back for this game. Obviously, his father sadly passed away, but he's obviously gone back to Spain. But he will be back for this game. So. Yeah.
Right then, the starting 11, we're going to discuss what we want to see, not what we think Lopetegui will do. Gonzo, talk me through your goalkeeper and your back four, please.
Fabianski, who I thought was really good the other night, as my man of the match. Your man of the match as well, of course. I actually thought Soufal was pretty damn good, to be fair, and I think I don't think this is absolute shoo-in that Emerson comes back in. That being said, I'm going to bring Emerson back in, but so it'll be Obi-Wan Bissaka at right back. We don't know whether it was full fisticuffs or an injured toe. We call him Toe Debo, and so I'm actually gonna go with Toe Debo, and just assume that it was his toenail, and he's got the clippers and he's sorted it out now, and filed it down, so he's all ready. And I'm going to play him next to Kilman and obviously Emerson at left back.
Yeah, I'll go the same as you, but I'll have to be honest with you. I think Soufal deserves to start, but I think, in order to accommodate that, you're either playing Wan-Bissaka out of position or dropping Wan-Bissaka, and I don't want to do that. So I would, but saying that, if come half-time, the hour mark, something's not quite working, Soufal is an option to bring on, and you can switch up at right back or left back, really. But I thought he had a solid game against Bournemouth, actually. But I would stick with the same team that you picked so far. Moving into central midfield, then, I think this is the biggest issue for Lopetegui, because I don't think Carlos Soler is replaceable, Gonzo. He's really grown on me the last few weeks. I think he's been quite pivotal to the small improvements that we've seen. And I think the small improvements come in patches and areas of the pitch. And I think central midfield is one of them. Yeah. The defence, for example, has yet to improve. Unsure it will improve. Midfield, I think it has. We have been moving the ball about better. We have been keeping a hold of the ball better. But I do feel like Soler's been the main reason for that. So what do you do? I don't think there is a replacement for him, really. Very difficult. I'm intrigued to see what Lopetegui will do, but what will you do?
I'm going to play Lewis Orford instead of him. I think there's a tendency, looking at how weak Brighton were aerially against Palace, there's a tendency to chuck Souček in there, who will remain to have a big part to play this season. I'm not going to do it in this game, no. So I would pair Orford alongside Alvarez in central midfield for this one.
I get why you've done that. There was a temptation for me to go along that lines as well, because I don't think Brighton are, like you said, in the air. They got beat by Crystal Palace, but also just physically. Yeah, and they're not very aggressive either. So when I was criticising Brighton a little bit earlier, some of their players to me just don't look that committed to some extent. Their attitude, I'd be looking at going, hang on a minute, what's going on here? Why are you not getting stuck in to some extent? That's why I think they might bring in Weaver might come in because he's 6'4" or something. He's a big guy. I think he might come in for this one. And Cisco's a little angry player that I quite like. He's small, but he's aggressive. And if he's in there, it's a bit different. But if they continue with the same sort of players they've got, I think Orford would be okay in this match, because I don't think that sort of physicality that you might get from other Premier League clubs will necessarily be there on Saturday afternoon. So in terms of an opponent, they're a good team, but they're not an aggressive team. I had Alvarez and Paqueta in there, but I'm tempted to switch to Orford now. But I'm going to stick with Alvarez and Paqueta. I don't think Paqueta was that great against Bournemouth. Great penalty, but I want to see something now. Right, you've got your goal now. Go step up a level now, please, because you strut around the pitch like a peacock. But at the minute, you're a peacock with like 2 feathers. It's a bit embarrassing, to be honest with you. You think there's this like display of green and blue feathers sticking up off your arse, but there's not. There's a couple of little stray ones. That's about it.
A bum fluff.
Moving into attacking midfield, then what you got?
Kudus, central midfield, central attacking midfield for me. But this one, let's get him off that left wing. I'm not happy with it there, and I'll give you all the rest now. Obviously, Bowen right, Somerville left, and the Hulk Krug up top. Let's see what we can do.
Time to start him, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. He's not. But there's no point saving him for anything else. There's no saving him. This is it. He needs to save himself, and he needs to save. I don't mean Lopetegui's really under pressure in this game, but maybe save his manager. Not as I understand it, he particularly wants to, but whether he wants a future career at West Ham or whether he's got a point to prove. Let's get this absolutely right. The club have absolutely said they're looking to try and bring in a top class striker. It'd be like you say, be like you making an announcement on the Hammers chat. I'm looking for a top class co-host. I mean, hold on a minute. That's not good for me, is it? And I think you haven't done that, have you?
I definitely have not done that.
Not yet. I think if I was Füllkrug,
you're quite cheap. That's why.
It's been said, and Füllkrug. I'll just be thinking, well, he's not cheap. Füllkrug's not cheap. I'll be thinking, well, hold on, what do you mean top class striker? I'm the top class striker. Now, he either wants to prove himself to be the top class striker and show West Ham don't need one, or he still wants to go back to Germany. He wants to show a Bundesliga club, we're not getting a £27 million, but maybe Bundesliga club will think, I will pay 16, 17 million for Füllkrug. So, for lots and lots of reasons, numerous reasons, he needs to start. We need him to start as well. I don't want to see Bowen out there anymore. We don't want to see Ings there. We have a striker. Let's see him play. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, I think we've got obviously a midweek game coming up against Southampton as well. But the following game is against Liverpool. I have no issues if Lopetegui was to decide in advance to aim to rest Füllkrug for that Liverpool game. Say, right, I'm going to play him against Brighton. I'm going to play him against Southampton. Then I'm going to rest him. I'm not even going to put him in the squad against Liverpool just to help his recovery, make sure he's okay. I don't have an issue with that. But I thought he looked all right when he came off the bench. I thought he looked quite... He looked rusty, but I thought he looked busy. I thought he was putting himself about. His header, I don't think it was an easy chance. I think he does really well to get in front of his man. He gets his head to it. And I think it's just a top save. But that header that he did, I think he would have been able to do that in the first half if he was on the pitch. We had the ball and there was just no one really in the box. We were just missing it's Füllkrug type of player just to link players together and to be the focal point. And I want to see him start. And even if you can only get an hour out of him, that's okay because it's better than half an hour. Get him in from the start, please. And I agree with you. Bowen, Kudus, and Somerville. I thought Kudus looked okay against Bournemouth. Just needs to be braver. Just needs to back himself a little bit. Take those shots on. Release the ball a little bit quicker. I'm hoping Füllkrug will be the striker to get that out of him. But it'd be a good team. It'd be an interesting attacking side anyway. Yeah. Right then, before we discuss it, we're feeling fruity ahead of this game. If you're a patron, please remember to do your prediction competition, because if you're a Hammers Chat patron, you enter our prediction competition where you have to guess the correct score and first goal scorer of this match. And if you're the overall winner and you're an addict, the top tier, you will win this shirt. It's a match-worn shirt by Aaron Creswell, and it comes with a lovely certificate of authentication from the football club itself too. So there you go. Patreon.com/Hammers Chat if you want to support us. But existing supporters, please do log in, get your predictions in, and best of luck. And hopefully somebody can win that match-worn Aaron Creswell shirt this weekend. Gonzo, are you feeling optimistic?
No, definitely not. No, why would I? Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, right, go on. Why, because of Palace?
But the last 4 games, they've drawn against Leicester and Southampton. Got beat by Palace and Fulham.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I think it's got a draw written all over it. This, to be perfectly honest with you. So
I didn't say I thought we were going to win.
Oh, right. You're optimistic for a draw. So yeah,
I think we might win. I'm confident we will draw.
Yeah, absolutely. Father Christmas is
I've
going to bring us
written
a
it
draw.
down. I've written my score prediction down here.
Yeah.
If you,
But we'll get to that bit in a, we'll get to that bit. And wait for the prediction section of the show. This is a bit where we waffle for a little bit about something which I've not decided upon yet. But I just think I just think we're finishing 14th. I think we're finishing. Nothing can change that. I think we're finishing 14th this season, and so we're going to continue on our quest. I think everyone's happy with that. I think the club are happy with that. I don't mean the fans, by the way. The club are happy with that. Lopetegui's happy with that. I think people have got their excuses, and I just think that's what's going to happen. Now, hold on. I'm not sure exactly how I'd feel if this were to happen, but let's say West Ham got their 100 million for Kudus, which we won't. But even let's say it was 80 million and West Ham go and sign this top class striker, whoever it is, I think that maybe make an improvement to the team. So I might revise when new evidence comes in after January. If the squad's changed, I might revise that. But at the moment, I just think we're just gonna carry on accumulating enough results that will keep us not quite as good as the top half of the table, but better than those below us.
So you think we won't win a game of football because of where you think we'll finish at the end of the season?
Yeah, well, I don't know whether you want to spin it, but I just think we'll carry on. We'll accumulate some points, and then we'll lose. And
why don't you think we'll win?
Why don't I think we'll win?
Yeah,
I don't think we're good enough to win. I think we are open at the back. I think we're just open at the back. We give away so many opportunities to the opposition, and even when we get results like we did against Wolves and Bournemouth, I don't even know. I think even the stat is jumbled up in my mind, but I know Wolves got 19 shots against had 19 shots. I think Bournemouth might have had 29. I think they might have had 29. I might have that slightly muddled, but it ain't a million miles wrong. You can't keep doing that. I'm sorry, you just cannot keep doing that. We're relying on huge elements of luck to stop other teams. I don't know if there's a stat. Like you got the XG or whatever. I don't know if there's a stat for what really they should have scored the opposition if you take into account when a VAR sort of is favourable towards you or whatever. But I think it looks to me, in my stat, XG, GG, like whatever, Gonzo goals, I think we look like we should concede 3 goals a game. That's how I think West Ham look. Basically, we either VAR or whatever. He's got to turn. Basically, our goalkeeper's got to turn into the love child of Gordon Banks and Peter Shilton. It's not a nice image, is it? We got to have world-class goalkeeping between the sticks, world-class defending, or VAR to stop us conceding 3 goals a game. So I just don't have any confidence that that's going to change.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think when we play well, we're still concede. Like, I thought we were the better team in the first half against Bournemouth, but they had the better chance, and that's not good. You can't do that. You're going to struggle to win games when you keep on conceding, and it's not just quantity; it's quality as well. I think nearly every game this season, if you look at the best chance of the match, it's been against us. It's not us that's getting it; it's the other side that's getting it. Sometimes it's hitting the back of the net. Sometimes it isn't, thanks to Lucas Fabianski currently.
Yep.
So I agree with you. We probably need to score 3 goals to win this game at the weekend. And then the question is, well, can you see yourselves? No, I can't. So I think we can win, but it's going to take bad finishing by Brighton and clinical finishing by West Ham in order for that to occur. And that's not something you want to rely on going into a game. You want to be able to rely on your tactics and your player performances, and those things certainly come into play. But what it doesn't do is eliminate those defensive issues that we currently have. We've not come up with a plan for that yet.
No,
I've had a glimmer of hope with that performance against Bournemouth, but until I see us getting better defensively, I cannot get my hopes up at all, really. Brighton may be a half-decent team for us to play this weekend. They're not in great nick themselves, actually. With all that said and done, Gonzo, can I get your final words and your score prediction, please?
Yeah, I think we're okay. I think this may be our best little patch of the season, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're okay. I think again, though, we might be the right team for Brighton to be playing as well. Whilst we might be catching them at a good time, they're definitely. We won't not necessarily roll over and have our tummy tickled like we've done in the past. I just don't think we've got the shape or the strategy to cause them too much trouble. We'll be relying on individual players. If we do anything, we're just relying on so we've got some wonderful, wonderful players at West Ham. We're relying on those. You know, Brighton have got good players and tactics. We haven't got tic-tacs. We just got good players. They're just sort of thrown in there with a defensive shape that gives the opposition a lot of chances, and for that reason, and I think I know what you're going for as well. So I think I'm probably going to match what you have got in your mind at the moment. So I'm going to go with Desmond.
Yes, I'm also going 2-2 as well. So there you go. We're both predicted a 2-2 draw at the London Stadium on Saturday. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Let us know the teams you want to see start. Remember, you cannot have Carlos Soler. Anyone else is available for selection, however. And let us know how you feel ahead of the game. But thank you very much for joining us on this match preview. If you enjoyed it, please do drop a like on it by clicking the thumbs up. Subscribe to How Much Chat myself and Gonzo. Catch you in a bit.